Hi, Paul. Good morning. It's Thursday, the 1st of June. Here's the heads up read for today. For the Southeast Asia production, we covered 18 issues. In North Asia, we covered 5. And for Australasia and the Pacific Islands, we covered 9. In South Asia, we covered 17 issues, plus the major issues in Europe, Middle East, and Africa.
Okay, excellent. Look, Bhargav can't make it today, so just brief me on both regions, please. Thank you.
Sure. In Thailand, the caretaker deputy prime minister said that potential violations by the Move Forward Party leader, Pita, in the shareholding case could affect his ability to be the prime minister and his status as a member of parliament. It could also affect the registrations of other Move Forward Party members who were officially inducted by Pita. In this scenario, elections may have to be held for nearly every constituency.
Yeah, okay. Look, it's interesting. I think there's a bit of probing by the old guard just to see what sort of reaction, what sort of civil response there is. So they're looking at how they can deflate this situation, and they're just doing an old-fashioned probe. Thanks for keeping me aware of that. This is going to be a fascinating part of Thai's history, how they go about juggling the absolute landslide that Kunpita and the MFP received. Of course, the old guard and their ability with the senators and their ability to manipulate coalitions. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how the security paradigm holds up, or whether the security situation goes back to how it was pre-coup, where it was just endless pro-monarchy and pro-change demonstrations going on, which really hurt the economy and hurt the poor people. Thank you.
In the Philippines, lawmakers yesterday approved the establishment of a USD $8.9 billion sovereign wealth fund, which is aimed at boosting growth and reducing poverty. The fund will be primarily funded by the national government, which will draw from the central bank, gaming revenues, and 2 other government-owned banks. The Sovereign Wealth Fund will also seek funds from private institutions.
All right. Maybe just leave it a few days, but I wouldn't mind maybe doing a mini assessment on that. I think it'd be interesting to dig into. Okay, so talk to me offline on that one.
Sure, definitely, Paul. Moving over to Papua New Guinea, the National Court has ordered that the government disclose the full details of a gold refinery deal with the National Gold Corporation, which is headquartered in Singapore. As per the deal, 70% of the refinery will be foreign-owned and 30% will be owned by the Papua New Guinea government. Now, the court decision came about after a local gold buyer and processor filed a challenge, saying that this will be detrimental for the local industry and actors.
Okay, I'd be interested to just understand what his points are. I mean, you know, on the surface, it's easy to understand why it's detrimental, but I'd like to dig into that in a little bit more depth, just so we can understand the points that he's making legally. Okay.
Sure, those are important. Moving over to South Asia, security incidents, including arson, continued in Manipur. In South Asia, security incidents, including arson, occurred in Manipur and India yesterday. This is as Home Minister Amit Shah is on a visit there to survey the situation. His visit is not expected to alleviate tensions, especially since the central government was perceived to ignore the violence during the recent Karnataka elections.
Okay, thank you.
And in Bangladesh, political clashes broke out in Chittagong yesterday during a mass rally with dozens of people injured. Elections are slated for January, and political violence has been generally increasing across the country.
Yeah, look, it would be good to appoint 1 or 2 of the team to keep a close eye into Bangladesh. As we lead up to the elections, the violence is only going to intensify. It will be good to just get a bit of a running presentation ready to go to assist clients to understand it in a visual sense as we move closer towards that election. Thank you.
Sure. Moving over to the Europe, Middle East, and Africa. In Germany, at least 7 terror suspects were arrested in raids across the country by police yesterday. The raids were targeting a terror network that was providing support to the Islamic State group in Syria through financial donations.
All right, that's very interesting indeed. Thank you.
In the Middle East, the UAE government yesterday said that it is no longer taking part in the US-led task force that is meant to protect shipping in the Gulf. The UAE is apparently frustrated by the lack of US response to recent tank seizures by Iran.
Look, that'll be interesting to see America's response to that. It'll be good if they can resolve that. Obviously, there's some critical shipping lanes there, and that task force was established for a reason. So let's hope there's a positive response and a resolution by the US. Okay, thank you.
Right. And lastly, the South African Foreign Ministry yesterday announced that it was granting diplomatic immunity to foreign officials attending the August BRICS summit, which will be held in the country. There has been controversy over Russian President Vladimir Putin, his planned visit to South Africa for the summit, especially since the International Criminal Court had issued an arrest warrant against him. South African authorities have said that they have no plans to arrest the world leader who is coming to attend the summit, which they are all a part of. This has angered
It's going to be really interesting to see how that unfolds. Thank you, Uday. Appreciate the brief. Cheers.
Thanks, Walton.